So a while back, I made the decision to bob out my 2008 Honda Shadow Aero 750. Now, I used quite a few blue-collar bobber parts. We got the front fender, the rear fender, and most importantly, the seat. And since I put the seat on in here, it has been a pain in my rear. Let's talk about it. Am I saying this is a bad product and that it's a bad seat? I am not saying that at all, even though I've made like 3 or 4 videos at this point about this seat and getting it set up the way I wanted it. When I bought the seat, I went with their heaviest springs, which are rated for 240 pounds plus. Well, I don't weigh 240 pounds. I didn't back then, and I don't now. And even though I still have the factory shocks on the bike, it felt like I was riding on a brick. It just really was not comfortable. I mean, as you can see, even just compressing with my fingers, it's taking a fair amount of effort. I mean, these suckers are stiff. But luckily, they do sell the springs separately, so I was able to pick up a set of like their medium rate. They max out about 230, which is about what I max out at, and I can already tell this is a vast improvement over what was there. Don't you do it? It actually feels like I'm bouncing on the seat, which is, I mean, this is the only bobber I've ever had, the only one I've ever ridden, so I presume this is what it's supposed to feel like. Because with the stiff springs, I mean, I could get maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours tops, and then I'm ready to get off this thing. Which the Shadow I mainly use for like in-town stuff, going to work, going from work, you know, run around on a Sunday morning, go get lunch, something like that. So, like, long comfort, I'm not super concerned about. I mean, I don't need to be on this, you know, I don't need all-day comfort. I just need a little bit more than what I had. This coming up here is going to be the test. Speed bumps ahead. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Oh yeah, there's definitely some spring. I got some spring in my Springer seat. Ooh, I actually got off the seat on that one. Okay, that was a tad too fast. But these things actually have a little give. I'm going to use a little bit of rear brake right there. But man, this is actually really nice. It does kind of feel like... I can't tell if I'm bottoming out or not. Because it feels... It almost feels like the springs are hitting, or like the bracket on the bottom of the seat, but that's not necessarily blue-collar bobbers' fault. That might be me. Because as you guys know, we got these 6-inch TJ Brutal fork extensions, and that kind of rakes the front of the bike up a little bit. So what I ended up doing is stacking washers and going with a larger mounting bolt on the rear of the seat to kind of angle me forward a little bit more, because without that, I felt like I was going to roll right off the back of this thing, which I think I didn't notice with the stiffer springs because I didn't have as much bounce. But I think long term, this is definitely going to work a little better. Now, the way I got the seat mounted with the washer stacked, that's not going to be forever, because these aren't going to be in there forever. I might have to call and get another update, but I got some 8-inch over forks and a freaking rake kit ordered back in November, which all that's custom made to order. I talked to them about 3 weeks ago, and they said that, you know, last cold snap we had kind of threw things off at the chrome shop, but it should be any day now. Because the fork extensions are a fine product, I just don't like how the bike's raked up anymore. And then this bike will be almost finished. We're that close. Once we're choppered out, I want to do something with the rear shocks, either replace them with something a little on the loading side, or I'm thinking hard strut. And if these springs work out, I might check out some hard struts and give those a shot, see how those work out. I mean, but who am I kidding? Is this bike ever going to actually truly, really be done? Because all this bobbing out was because I installed those fork extensions. That's what started this whole thing. Because I put the fork extensions in, and then the front fender didn't look right, so I put one from a Spirit on there. Then the rear fender didn't look right, so I was like, alright, cool, we'll go with the bobber real fender, we'll cut the frame, but I still want to keep my Mustang seat. Well, the Mustang seat looked too big, so now we got the blue collar bobber seat. Then I was like, well, the Spirit fender didn't look right compared to the rear fender, so I ended up with the blue collar bobber's fender. And now the bike doesn't look balanced because the front's raked up a little bit. Most of my chrome in the rear, minus the rear shocks, is gone. So I swapped out the chrome apes for black apes, thinking about blacking out the forks whenever they get here with the chopper kit. It just ongoing. It just goes and goes and goes. It's a good thing I love this bike, because I don't think anybody else would spend that kind of money on it. But either way, I am digging these new seat springs. if you're bobbing out your shadow, I definitely think you should check out the seat, man. 100%. Blue Collar Bobbers makes a great product. And if you want to check out my unboxing first look review on this Blue Collar Bobber seat, you can check out this video right here. And as always, y'all be good. See you.